Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Paz and chat, poor people. We are talking to poor people today. Today we're going to talk about a subject matter that was sent to me on Instagram when somebody asked me, hey, what do you think about this compressed air supercharging system? No parasitic loss, no IAT issues, yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to explain to you, hopefully in pretty simple terms, why compressed air supercharging never took off. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying there's a very simple reason why compressed air supercharging took off. I think a lot of people are trying to reinvent the wheel. At the end of the day, modern technology, specifically supercharging and intercooling technology, is so advanced that it's very difficult to come up with something in an alternative fashion that is simple and that it is much better than the current supercharging and turbocharging stuff. Look, there are Chinese turbo manufacturers out there printing money because they are literally giving you a piece of shit kit that works and makes power. And you don't care as the American consumer. You just say it's cheap. I'm not going to, why am I going to spend $12,000 for a quality kit when I can spend $8,500, $6,800, $7,200 for a Chinese turbo, Chinese pipes, a little bit of COVID here and there on the, V bands, and you should be able to make power for a year or two. And by that time, I'm just going to, trade this vehicle in and sell it because we have a disposable society. People don't keep their cars long. The latest and greatest is touted for clout. So at the end of the day, the manufacturing of these power adders is usually catered to the lowest common denominator, the cheap guy. But in terms of the compressed air supercharging system, I'm not going to say much on it. I'm actually going to highlight what the people that push the product say, and I'll explain to you why it never really took off. We'll talk about that and many more things and talk to the peasants today, but not before we ask Mr. Bill O'Reilly to do it live. Or he says to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. D&H Performance doesn't suck though. They've been a very good sponsor for the last couple of years, providing parts at a cheap price, Amory cups, you name it, buy it there. Whether it's a Whipple that the rotors totally don't lock up on, a Ford Innovation fuel system, PMAS products, you name it. D&H Performance, D&Hperformance.com. PMAS, St. James and PMAS, the best cold air intake on the planet. He's just coming back from PRI. Hopefully they had a good showing over there. I don't support PRI because PRI left the industry out to hang when it came to the EPA shit. Fuck them. PaWr.com, the people that get you the best used late model parts. Seats, tires, wheels, engines, cranker pallets, control packs, little odds and ends here. Little things you might need for your late model car. You don't want to go to a junkyard, you go to PaWr.com. 2 Auto Solution, represented on 2 Auto Solution, doing a lot of half-mile stuff. Apparently, people like to do half-mile stuff in a Mustang. And why don't we go drag racing? This half-mile shit is for the birds. And Belak. The reason I say half-mile shit's for the birds is because Mustangs aren't fast enough to be relevant in the half-mile. 180 ain't shit. Unless your shit's doing 200, stop it. Please stop this behavior. And Belak Industries, the best wheels for drug dealers out there. I'm going to leave the chat the way it is now because I'm going to see if it freezes. If it doesn't freeze, it's the extension that's causing an issue on Google. If it does freeze, I have no idea what the fuck's causing it. Joe Swiss, B. Lavesh, Nick, we got Six Suki, Craig Walls, Mr. Billet Noonan himself, Wesley Stewart, Nick, Z303, Camzilla, Sam Morales, Bryson Witt, that's right, Bryson Witt, thank you so much. Rich Prince, I always forget, and I apologize, Rich Prince. I mean, you guys have been pretty freaking awesome, and I can't complain about anything. You guys have been just awesome. You put new stuff up. The Snack Attack GT500 is last week. Before you do an ugly sweater contest, you get yourself a black Snack Attack GT500 sweater. The Christmas-themed YDBT stuff. And, oh, look at this hoodie. I might get that red hoodie. Shit. I might get that red hoodie up there because it's a little chilly down here. The Amory. Oh, I'm going to get the Amory hoodie. The red Amory hoodie looks baller. Yes, and stickers and all the stuff to support the kid and support richprince.com. Okay, let's get back to the saying who's here. Bryson, the Wolf, Coyote, Kelly, Cobra, Dixon, Desert 1320. Been a while. Nice to see you here, brother. Big Guns, Bryson Witt. I'd like to think having multiple big tanks of full compressed air in the car is pretty dangerous. Essentially, you're rolling around with some pipe bomb. JD Swag, Alex Vallejo, Donahue, Frank Donahue, Clint Stroke, Alabama, Hassan, Carnage, John Jones, Carnage again. Oscar Hernandez, happy birthday. Oscar Hernandez. Good. Congratulations on making it to 26 in probably the Puro Pinche. You probably in the Puro Pinche 956 a la verga, cuz. Or California. Like, there's nothing in between. Apparently, y'all just populate shit close to the border. Rican 50, Cobra, Matt Marcock, Gregory Upfates, Sosa, Boost Performance, Nazo, Arturo Hermosillo, 94 GT Vert, Josh Roy, Cody Lewis, AJ, ESS Boss, A Daytona, Jacob, Jeff Betts in the house, STT, Mark Christensen, Amir, Zahir, Ken Phillips, Louis, Jeremy Smith, Ken, Carmike, how about air compressed methane? Yeah, I'm good on that. 50 Billion, FJB, and MLS, what is happening there? Been a while. Okay, thank you everyone for saying hello. Okay, so let's talk about because the only reason this came up is somebody sent me something on Instagram. I was like, what do you think about compressed air supercharging? Okay, I'm just going to let you listen to how the gentleman who promotes the product speaks about it, and then we'll talk the obvious pros and cons of everything.
The first component in the air delivery module is a high-flow mechanical regulator that takes the pressure from 3,300 psi down to 100 and delivers it through a large-diameter, low-restriction, medium-pressure hose that feeds the 100 psi air forward to the engine metering and discharge components.
Shout out to the Matrix fighting music. When Neo went to rescue Morpheus from the agents in the building, this is the song they played when they went to get guns.
To safely transfer the high-pressure air from the tanks to the medium-pressure regulator, we need a pair of hoses that are rated to handle extremely high pressures and very low temperatures. The next
the fucking music, bro.
Component in the air delivery module is the two-stage high-flow shutoff valve. This two-stage high-flow shutoff valve, or safety solenoid, resides at the end of the medium pressure hose to prevent air from escaping when the system is not active. The electronic pressure regulator is the last stage of control for air being pressurized into the engine. An ejector is used to discharge the medium pressure air into the engine air intake and to isolate the engine from outside air when under boost. The third component of the system consists of an electronic boost controller and a manifold absolute pressure sensor. A boost sensor is used to measure the air pressure inside the engine air inlet tract. A programmable control module reads the engine air inlet pressure, compares it to the program target values, and adjusts the EPR to attain that target pressure.
He basically laid out why that system will never be viable, right? Like, did you guys just listen to what he said? And again, not a critic, but my fucking God, two massive 3,000 PSI tanks. Coyote Kelly, why don't you just build a nitrous car at this point? Exactly. Why not just build a nitrous car at that point? Because they're talking two 3,000 PSI tanks. They're talking a medium pressure, what the fuck? Medium volume, high pressure, medium volume, high temperature, low temperature, medium, a check valve, a control module, another proportioning valve, a boost controller, a map sensor. You literally laid out why this kit is not going to be viable in mass. It's too complicated. It's too complicated. It might be simple for you. Someone said, Beach Cowgirl says, this music sounds like some SpongeBob episode. Hold up. You got bombs in the trunk. Imagine rear-ending a car and the whole block goes up. Oh, you spin the block a lot quicker. So you have two 3,000 PSI tanks. You have, and then he says, well, you know, it's not susceptible to IAT. I agree. You can run pump gas. You can make 1,000 horsepower on pump gas in a supercharged application if it's a big block. So you have to make it make sense. This is why it's not viable. for another reason. The complicated nature of all the valves, the proportioning valves, the check valves, the regulators, the boost controllers, the map sensors, and the two massive tanks in the back. Supply. You have a finite supply. Then you're going to need a specific compressor to charge tanks after a run. Craig Walls, shaking my head. Can you guys see those words okay? If not, I'll make them bigger because I'm just trying stuff out. So you need a supply. So you need a specific compressor. You're going to run out. It's not a street application. It's insanely complicated. It's got valves all over the place. Whereas a supercharger is a belt, intercooler, and a heat exchanger, and the atmosphere is your supply. The outside is your supply. As long as you have oxygen or a breathable atmosphere, you have supply. Turbochargers, same thing. Free power. Exhaust is already exhausting. Why not make it turn a couple of turbines? Why not make those turbines turn some compressors? Why not intercool that air density and put it back into the car, regulate it in a certain fashion? It's like ridiculously complicated. Now, they might not think so. They might go, no, this is for if you understand. I get it. But look, if supply is an issue, compressing the air, the size of the tanks, like if you lay out a supercharger kit versus a compressed air supercharger kit, it is huge. It is huge compared, like incompare. So what are you going to do? You're going to go just the size of the stuff and the complicated nature. And what are the fail points? The failing points of a supercharger is the supercharger is only supercharging when the belt is turning or when the turbo is turning. The compressed air is basically it's static energy, meaning it is not being pushed into anything. So a lot of people wanted to talk about, like, they hit me up on Instagram. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm like, I think that it is okay, but it is not any better than the modern supercharging technology we have now. We have great intercooling. We have great heat exchanging. We have rotor designs and flow characteristics that on pump gas you can make. So PK Auto Design in the West Coast, they had a GT350 on a dyno. And he was kind of amazed that it made 750 rear wheel horsepower through pump gas. I go, well, let's think about why it does that. It passes the air through the engine so smoothly, basically badass cams, badass cylinder heads, 5.2, high revs, many engine cycles, and minimal restriction. And the car made 750 real horsepower pump gas. We added spark advance. It made 850 on E85. And I'm like, that's normal. And that's on 11 PSI, close to 11 PSI. So I'm like, that's normal. That is a normal power output to be expected. At the flywheel, you can, measure behind the butthole and make sure that power number, can be skewed in any way you want. Like a lot of people are like the Godzilla guy. What's his name? Brian Wolf. He's touting 900 horsepower out of an NA Godzilla. Didn't the same channel tout 850 horsepower out of a Coyote with like stage 3 cams and like Gen 2 heads? I was like, well, again, what's so impressive if it has another 2.3 liters working with it? It's just really interesting. And the fact that the Coyote nowadays passes air through it, has more engine cycles, this compressed air stuff is cool in terms of engineering, but it is not as viable as modern belt-driven or turbocharging. And for the simple reason that it's just too complex. And that's it. Like that's literally it. So PRI happened this week. Nothing out of PRI caught my attention. Nothing was wowing. Again, we're talking about the Mustang industry. Nobody has talked about any tuning solutions for 24. I did go to Lund Racing yesterday, hung out with the guys for a Christmas party. Talked to Senior. He showed me some stuff that he's working on that's pretty cool. That has nothing to do with stock computer stuff. I think it's interesting. He's dipping in toes into other stuff, making harnesses, just making super cool shit. Hung out with them, but nothing. I asked, hey, is there any? Actually, he asked me. Senior was like, have you heard anything on the 24 Mustang front? Which tells me he hasn't heard anything, which tells me there is no solution going forward. So what do? Well, we try to bring you, or at least try to talk to people that can bring you better products. Maybe if there's not as good a tuning, maybe we can bring better products to the market. So he's working on that, showed me a couple of products that I think are very cool. I think going forward, it'll be just more options for the customer. And I think it'll be great. Again, anyone out there that is listening to the channel and thinks I know anything, do not buy a 24 F-150 or Mustang until tuning is already out if you want to modify the vehicle. I know you want to be latest and greatest. Maybe you like the new design. I don't give a fuck. 23 and under is what you should be buying if you want to go racing or you want to modify your vehicle now. I don't want to have people in my inbox constantly asking me about 24 shit. When it's done, when it's vetted, when it's flashed, when it's verified, then buy the car. Why are you buying the car before it can be tuned? And then asking me a bunch of fucking questions. Wait until tuning is available. Right now I have a 13 Mustang that is still relevant today, and I can tune everything all the way up to a 7-second car if I want. That interests me. This weird nature of buying something before tuning is available so that you can be the first. You're not going to be the first. You're not going to be the first. Lund and other tuners are going to be the first, and then they'll keep vetting. You're not going to be the first. You're going to be the 80th because it's all going to be released at the same time. So stop waiting for some kind of like potential clout chase lottery ticket that you're going to be the first. Remember when GT500s came out? I'll tell you a story. The GT500 came out and the clout chasers, especially Shelby clout chasers, started messaging people saying, hey, I want to work with you guys. But then they had a list of demands as if to, can you stop, Scott Andrews? Stop asking. Stop asking. Stop fucking asking. I literally just got done telling you this and you asked that question and you're a Haram member. I just got finished saying this and you asked that question. I'm mind blown. I'm mind blown if you're being serious. So the Cloud Chaser 2020 GT500 guys started making a list of demands. You know, hey, I bought a 2020 Shelby and I want it tuned by Lund, but this is what I want. I want to be the first to have any development files. I want to be the first. You have to work with me in order for us to achieve the first 10, the first 9, the first 8, the first 1,000 horsepower, the first E85. We got like 30 emails that literally like not copy pasted, but had the same sentiment. What did that tell me? These guys are looking for clout. These guys are looking for clout. The first people that are going to do it is when Lund gets a GT500 in-house, they'll be the first to do it because they have to vet it on their stuff first. And the customers did not like that. The customers were unhappy. There are customers right fucking now that still to this day chase tuner after tuner for that finite, you know, they go, well, Lund tuned me. I heard this guy has better shifting files. Then you go to him and all of a sudden the car drives like butt cheeks, but it maybe shifts a little better in sport mode. And you're like, well, that's what I want. Then you go drive it out of your driveway and go, whoa. Oh, what's that? Well, we have the full torque tables in order to manipulate that so at the bottom it runs like shit. And you're like, well, I don't want that either. And then you stupid son of a bitch in your RTD or whatever, you have a Lund file. And then you drive it and you go, it drives so fucking good. And it's within a tenth of the personal best that I got with all these other tuners that are shifting me at 9,200 RPMs. Chasing. So stop asking about the 24 Mustang. When tuning is out, Lund is going to do all the vetting. Lund is going to go trans stuff, E85 stuff, maybe single throttle body stuff, maybe blower turbo Sentry stuff. Then the customer gets it. That's always how it's been. I don't understand why you guys think you're gonna... Name somebody that actually became a YouTube millionaire, because let's be honest, that's what matters, right? Money. By being the first of everything on any platform ever. The first guy that got a Dodge 170, is he a millionaire? The first guy that got a 2020 GT500, is he a millionaire? From YouTube views. No. The problem is this. People want to be known. People want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I just want to make money. If there was a way of me making money and not showing my face, that would be fucking awesome. Because the moment I go outside and have to meet some of these people, I'm like, I can't believe I have to interact with these fucking retards. But you have to. You know, this is my meal ticket. This beautiful face and his awesome body. Unreal. Beats Cowgirl says, people really care about being the first. It's a sad phenomenon for real. It's, well, let's be honest. People want to stand out to the point where the fame gets to them. Once they get a little bit of attention, once they get a little bit of notoriety and they get attention from the industry, they just run with it. I honestly don't want any attention. I want money. So if I can make money without, like I said, being very public, that'd be great, because I'm more of an introvert. I don't want to go outside and face all these fucking retards. There's a lot of retards out there. And in this industry, there's not only a lot of retards, a lot of hypocrites. PRI, to me, the whole show, thank God my algorithm is on point. I didn't see shit for posts on PRI. I saw drone stuff, political stuff, girls' asses, and like workout techniques. No PR. Dude, I've literally unfriended everyone and anyone that sent me PRI or racing industry stuff, because I have no interest in it. But I can absolutely from afar criticize it because they don't have anyone's back. And I'm blown away that people suck PRI's dick so hard. And this is why. Notoriety. They want to be seen. Do you know how many people say the following thing? I am so honored to be at the Borla booth. And then you get nothing because of that. I'm so honored to be at the Stainless Works booth. Oh my God, look at me. And then you go to the booth, people say hi to you, you spend 6 days there, you drink 8,000 calories worth of Starbucks, and you go to Capitol Grill and eat a Wagyu, and then whatever, asparagus and potatoes, another 8,000 calories. And what did you get for your PRI trip? High blood sugar, and no one gives a fuck that your car was at the booth. Because at the end of the day, you go back home to Oklahoma, Kansas, or wherever the fuck you're from, and nothing came of it. People need to understand that in the digital age, showing up in person matters less than getting your name out there in a digital fashion. PRI, you at a booth, has the reach of the people that attend PRI. You on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, if you post it properly, you can times 100 the reach PRI would ever. So I say this, if you want to push a product and if you want to become known, you put it up on a digital platform, because Twitter, X, Facebook, YouTube, even Rumble nowadays are like the NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox of the future. PRI and actual racing events are cool if you want to be competitive and you want to be seen in person. But if you want to push a product and be seen and maybe drive traffic to your website, digital media is the way to do it. That's why I think you can get more out of just testing and tuning than actually competing in an event. Because you could be the fastest test and tuner on the planet, and then a guy that's better at the tree that runs 2/10 slower than you wins everything. Look at Kai Kelly. Look at Kai Kelly. That's a great example. Kai Kelly, not that he's not legit. And I'm kind of blown away that people go, steel roof and quarters. I'm like, dude, the car still weighs 2,400 pounds. I don't understand why you guys steel roof and quarters. The short wheelbase is kind of impressive. You know what I mean? So Kai Kelly, Street Outlaws, goes out there and beats all the pro mods, the fastest cars on the planet, guys that are legit, he beats them. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know any of the pro mod guys. That guy's a badass. He is? Who is he? I don't know him. I know Kai Kelly. I get it. I'm a casual watcher. I cannot sit there and watch pro mods race. Then you see a guy who, his story, you've seen him street race. He's, in the industry, he's got a huge social media following, Kai Kelly, then legitimately beats people at a race. And now, who do you think gets more notoriety? And the drag racer, the let's say the hardcore drag racer that races all the time that nobody knows, gets upended by a social media guy. And that's what they do. They'll say, well, he's just a social media guy. They're just fucking clowns. That clown just showed up to your fucking race and pushed all y'all shits in. What you got to say about that? So that's what I mean, that it doesn't matter that you go out and competitively race all the time and spend all this fucking money. When a YouTube guy can just vet his shit, race on the street, do street outlaw stuff, and then shows up to your event just cuz and happens to beat you at your own shit. I think people are going about it the wrong way. I think events don't matter all that much. I think social media is better to target certain audiences that you normally wouldn't reach to your site, your merch, your whatever, and people just don't have a personality. Look at the top end interviews. Go ahead and watch the top end interviews on Flow Sports. These guys can't put a sentence together. And Kai Kelly can, because he has media training. So people look at him talk and they go, yeah, he's a goofy dude, but the guy gets it done and he's fast and he beat everybody. And at the top end of the track, he has charisma. Call him goofy, call him a social media, call him a street outlaw as a derogatory term. He beat y'all, and he has a bigger following, and people know who he is. And all the pro mod guys that are Billy Badass at their own shit, nobody knows who they are. That's why I think it's missing something. It's missing something in that world, and I think people get mad that a social media guy has more notoriety in the racing world than a guy that actually races. Racing does not make you famous. If that's what you want to sell product and stuff. You asked to show the 0-1 once at PRI, do you accept views, click, equal money? You're asked to show. No, Ken Phillips, you don't understand. I don't fuck with PRI. I don't fuck with PRI. I don't care about PRI. I will never support PRI or SEMA because of what they did to us in the industry. You understand? See, you guys look at it as I'm just talking. No, they had no one's back. Not yours, not any shop, not any diesel shops. They didn't go to bat for you. They didn't do shit. They sat there and took people's membership money, paid their CEO $1 million, and what did you get for it? They bent over in front of the EPA and said, tell us what to tell our people so that we can, let them understand how to work within your sandbox. Or you could have gone, fuck you, lobbied actual people that are in conferences that have to do with EPA funding, get them hookers, blow, steaks, fishing trips, trips to Punta Cana, whatever, to take away funding from the EPA. No, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. Fuck you. Big Daddy Petty says, you're just a casual. Casuals are what brings the money in. They outnumber the normies 6-1. Do you want to impress people in a tight community? Or do you want to impress the vast majority? Are you in business or do you want to keep it real? If you want to keep it real and you're a racer, get ready to go the way of NMRA. Kept it real. Didn't include the masses. Started making niche little things. The NMRA did not have a Turbo Coyote class. You want to talk about killing yourself in terms of business. The hottest shit right now is Coyote. There are guys that are building drag and drive unlimited class Coyote cars. That's right. Pro mod looking cars with big massive turbos with a Coyote in it because of the rules and the maintenance. There is this weird push against the Coyote. It's weird. You see it on the Ford channels. You see it on people don't want to promote the Coyote. And it's because it's slightly out of their wheelhouse. But the racer that goes, well, I'm going to work within these rules. These are the rules I got for unlimited drag and drive class. Shit. The 302 cubic inch Coyote that has gone 6.0 fits all these classes. And I might be able to do a drag and drive on one engine and not have to do any maintenance on it. No valve lash, no nothing. How much maintenance do you have to do to a billet, Noonan, Proline, something after every single pass? Maybe Craig Walls, because you're in that world and I'm not in that world and I'm a nobody. I get it. Tell me the maintenance that has to happen even at your level. You're like a 640 car or a 630 car, 420, like the Lunds have been 431. So they're there. So how much maintenance do you have to do to a push rod combo to actually, feel good about the car going into the next round? Because these cars basically eat themselves. Stevie Fast on his podcast with Kai Kelly said that race will hopefully shift the shows and that they need to do whatever they can to fill the seats. They praised the dude's performance a lot, says JT Gomez. That's very smart. Stevie Fast was a grudge racer, then radial racer, talked a lot of shit, tons of personality, but for whatever reason, he's missing something. He's missing something that the vast majority of the people can't gravitate towards, and I don't know what it is. I wish I knew what it was, but not the normies don't gravitate towards him. But for whatever reason, they can look at a Kai Kelly and go, he's one of us. And I'm like, okay, I don't think that, but I'll watch him because he is not the regular drag racer. Again, you need to have a personality. People have to like you. People have to like you or hate you. Hell, I'd rather be hated. I'd rather be a heel because people watch heels. Racing is wrestling. People watch you because they hate you. People watch you because they like you. And eventually, you gotta love to be hated. And that's where the big money comes in. If you love to be hated and you can literally go out of your way and stoke the embers of hate every time you're out there racing, you have captured what it is to make money, big money. Remember Hollywood Hogan? Remember Hulk Hogan was always the red and yellow. Oh, I'm a real American. I fight for your right. Then he turned heel. And then he made big money with Hollywood Hogan. Talked shit. The NWO. Dude, that was the coolest fucking thing. He turned the whole freaking stadium into bad guys. And they're all doing the NWO logo. Dude, it was nuts. In racing, you need that. You can't get along with everybody. There's got to be a little drama. Like, the biggest thing I hate? I hate that two people that hate each other shake hands as if they're all fucking cool. Motherfucker shake my hand. I went to FL2K and the motherfucker shook my hand and looked at me like, hey man, nice to see you out here. And I'm like, and I was like caught off guard, like, and I'm like, that's this motherfucker. Like that happens all the time. Like y'all think I know you, I don't know you. So they're like, hey, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey. And then I'm like, wait a minute. You're that bitch ass that talks shit on me all the time. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Unreal. 2011 Mustang Lund 2. Okay, get out of here. Alex, are you still going to put a small block Ford in the Fairmont? So the goal with the Fairmont is to run a 7-second car I can drive on the street. I don't have the money, the patience, the wherewithal to build something Billy badass. That's like sub 750. That to me, that's getting it. But 7.9 or an 8.0 car that I can turn on ethanol, E85, not methanol, drive it to a Cars and Coffee or go on a cruise on a Sunday, and then I could just turn the wick up and go 799 or 8.0 at 23, 4 PSI, and then it's still in one piece, and then put it in there. I would love to build that. Can I do that easier with a small block Ford or a Coyote? Probably a small block Ford. Okay, now let's talk money, and let's talk maintenance. Before we talk maintenance, Craig Walls. He is the in-house kind of like the guy that knows his shit. Craig Walls says, we usually run the valves every 2 to 3 runs. Mainly check over everything under the valve covers. Occasionally, we'll find a valve spring or push rod that needs replacing. He's been a 404 at 186. Guys, that is serious. 404 at 186. You have no idea. That is a 5-second car. Or a 6.2, 6.1, 6.0 car in the quarter mile at 220 plus miles an hour. Those cars are usually back at 40, so you probably 225, 226. Stupid. Good for you. So they run the valves. You have to open the valve cover up and you have to get in there. With a Coyote, it either blows up. There is no maintenance. Come back. Sounds funky? Replace the motor. You're not going to take the timing cover off. You are not doing maintenance on a Coyote at the track. Bring two. There is no maintenance. So typically people get after it, and a Coyote can last them a complete event. So let's say you show up on a Monday, you test, you do 3 runs. Everything's good. Compression's good. Valves are good. Cams are good. Chains are good. Go out there. And let's say your goal is to run 6s. And you get out there, make a 6-second pass in a Coyote, come back, everything's good, got oil pressure, okay, configure it to drive and get to the next track. So by the time you test and run 6 tracks, and let's say everything goes average, where you have to run the car twice each track, plus 2 or 3 test sessions, you're probably into it for 15 to 16, maybe tops 20 runs, tops. And most motors that have aluminum rods can last about 50 runs. And you go, 50 runs, that's not a lot. Well, think about it. Let's say you do TX2K, FL2K, and World Cup. Let's say you do 3 qualifying sessions, FL2K, and you go 4 rounds. 3 qualifiers, 4 rounds, 7. Let's say you duplicate that for 3 or 4 races. 28, 30 passes. You can technically, if you race 4 or 5 times a year on the big tracks, go a whole season with one Coyote motor if it survives. So, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Maniac says, Kai Kelly, Scott Taylor, and Bobby Ducote are good guys. I know Bobby Ducote personally, and they'll run their shit all out. In fact, Bobby Ducote just hold his twin-turbo Coyote car. On F-150, says Amir Sahir, the Hellion twin-turbo kit seems way more viable than the top-mount kits. Yet, it doesn't seem as popular. Is there a reason for that? I would say price. Boosted 50 says, which 4 system do I get for a 25? Oh my God, the level 2. Beats Cargo says, charisma goes a long way. I see less and less with these younger kids. How old are you? Because men want to know how old you are. The moment a woman shows up on here, it could be one of 2 things. A super hot chick that sucks all the dudes' dicks at the parking lot to get a ride, or an older girl that has Mustang posters all over her wall. Shit, Beach Cargo said, ain't no shame in that. They need to remember you. Winning while being hated is for sure a way to get attention. Okay, so let's take a look, because you mentioned it. F-150 Hellion twin turbo. Okay, perfect. All the cucks sell it, but let's go to Hellion themselves. Okay. Here we go. So because I'm not on game. Okay. F-150 stuff, I could not care less about. So Hellion 15 to 24 F-150 5-liter next generation twin turbo system. New. $10,995. Let's get the highest. Let's get the best shit. Hellion 4-in-1 header. The best turbo. Okay, wait. So $14,800. Okay. Let's go to Velocity. Twin turbo kit F-150. So they have a Facebook page, Coyote Direct. Okay, let's go to Coyote Direct. Okay, let's see if we have a upgraded kit, the ultimate kit. Okay, so the ultimate kit is $1,300 cheaper, according to their website. Does on three, I might have to go to a Chinese server. F-150 twin turbo kit. On 3 performance. Okay, here we go. Oh my lord. Let's get the best bearing, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Turbo smart, turbo blankets. Yeah. Give me all the shit. Yeah. Yes, please. Give me. Yeah, sure. All of it. All. Yeah. 1200s. 1300s. Turbo smart. What the fuck? Where's AMS? No. Spark plug. Yeah. Brisk. 6510s. Yeah. Let's add all the shit. Let's add all the shit. Fuck it, right? Yeah, give me the Chinese. Give me COVID. Is there a COVID? Because it's made in China. Is there a COVID checkbox? I'd like the COVID, please. Let me get the Rona. All right, that's a card. $11,099. Now you have your answer. Hellion, all the shit, $14,808. Velocity, $13,500. And on 3, $11,000. But you have to install it 15 times. So add another, let's say $3,000 for inconvenience. It's still pretty cheap. So that's Amir Zahir. At the end of the day, unfortunately, the American consumer is cheap. Now, people would say the price of an ESS kit is indicative of its performance. That one's interesting. I think the price of the ESS kit it has gone lower and lower because of the popularity and the performance. That's one of those weird ones where it is not super Chinese stuff. The owner isn't exactly the nicest guy on the planet, but because, every time he talks, it just turns people off. And I'm like, bro, you need to whoever is promoting your product, they need to be the forward-facing person of the company. But, the product sells really well. And if you can get into an ESS kit all in for $8,900 or $9,500, and with a 100 millimeter pulley, high octane, or a return style fuel system, you can get into the low fours. That's GTR territory. That's, slightly modded R8 territory. Like you're competing with big boy shit because of the 10R80. That's one of those weird ones that ESS for some reason captured the popularity because of the price point. Same thing with the twin turbo stuff. The price point. If it's cheap, people will buy it. The Wuhan option, exactly. Some just swap TSP motors every run. That's the other thing. This is going to be the problem with the Coyote. At the top level, at the highest level, if you do not run FFRE stuff, you're going to have problems. Bet me. I know. Oh, you're just sucking their dick. They haven't. I have never run FFRE stuff. I don't have a vested interest in FFRE stuff. They don't, sponsor the kid. The Lunds pay for a motor just like everyone else pays for a motor. So just look at the performance. Everyone that gets an FFRE something and the car is mechanically sound, that has to be mentioned. Because a lot of people go, well, my motor blew up at FFRE. I'm sorry, their motor is not made out of adamantium where it can just forego bad combustion events, chains flying off the shit, bad timing, bad cam timing, bad tuning. Y'all shoving 23 degrees in cars that make 1,1300. And you wonder why the piston ring lands are rocking and rolling and crazy. All the cucks sell it. Took my car out for a nice cruise yesterday. Luntoon, working flawless. You must love driving that car in this weather. Shows how much people like four-wheel drive on the streets. F-150 talk is everywhere. Every single on-3 twin turbo has melted the valve covers and leak oil, says Bryson Witt. The COVID checkbox. The Wuhan option. I don't have posters and I don't suck a bunch of dicks for a ride. You're hilarious. Okay. Do you suck one dick for a ride? You gotta suck something. Let's be honest. You're sucking something somewhere. Your girl. I mean, stop it. Love my Hellion kit. Instead of Zona turbos, you get Rona turbos. Good stuff. Is there a happy ending option there? ESS kit is simple. It seems like it's cheaper because of design. That's the other thing. If you look at a bracket for ESS, and I have physically installed this myself, so I am saying this because I have installed it. It takes a lot of effort to swap a belt on a Vortech and a Paxton than it does a ProCharger or an ESS. So the issue I have with ProCharger is the intercooling isn't great, and the moment you turn up the boost, IATs become an issue, and not necessarily very high boost, like medium boost, 14. I'm like, IATs are creeping up. So then they sell higher tier intercoolers, stage 1, stage 2, then the race. And I'm like, there's got to be a global option, but then there's no money in. You gotta imagine there was a piece of gum that lasted 10 years. Motherfuckers would never sell gum again. Imagine there was a drug that cured cancer, not let you live with it for a very long time. Like, you need drug dealers make the money off the comeback. Drug companies make the money off of maintaining your misery. Supercharger companies, injector companies will always make money off of the upgrade. Always, always, always. Army Ed says ESS also captured it because of the ease of the install and the bracket design. In 8 hours, guys, some dumbass that has never installed a centrifugal in his life installed and tuned an ESS kit. Would I need a retune if I swap a Gen 2 head on a Gen 1 engine? No, sir. Watching their video, that's the shop I'd go to. Their procedures are top notch. 65 degrees last night. The cold front moved out last night. Just got my replacement belt. So I might do a 60 to 130. My husband and I died of laughter. See, you're sucking something. Got vaxxed. Now I want compressors for my engine, says Nathan E. No, Alex, it only takes 15 minutes to swap a belt on a Vortech. Remember that argument? So you need to understand the way I look at things is a little different. I have a very, bird's eye view, outside perspective. And if somebody tells me it only takes 15 minutes to swap a belt on a Vortech. Okay, so I know you're full of shit. Number one, 99% of the people don't have a lift. It's you and me. We're on the ground. We're bros. We're on the ground. So an S550 has, a big shield underneath it that you can't access, right? You can't access that. So if people say, well, I can get the belt out from under the bottom easier than from the top. Okay, so now we have to jack the car up. Jacking the car up takes time. Putting jack stands under it. Okay, then you get, oh, no. My mechanic does it on the lift. Oh, so a building he leases for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month, or he bought it for $1.2, $1.3, $800,000. So it cost $800,000, heat, electric, a lift, to change a belt out in 15 minutes. That looks like to me that belt change is $1 million belt change. Fuck out of here. But somehow a Fort Lard can change a belt in 10 minutes. Damn it, Artie. Planned obsolescence. Oh, hell, she got a husband. Alex was right. Told you. You guys got your hopes up. Told you when a girl comes in here, a guy brought her in. Guys, come on. Girls don't like cars. They like the guys they can access with the cars. Stop it. So the guy must have been watching the show. Hey, honey, this guy's pretty fucking funny. You should watch it with me. She's like, okay. And she goes, it's kind of cute. Let me watch. Fuck it. And then the husband's like, hey, he's funny at car stuff, right? And she's like, nah, I'm going to ride his face one day, right? But then she's like, nah, I'll just watch it with him. And then she, fantasizes about riding my face, but under the auspice of, watching the show with the husband. Tell me I'm wrong. Morning says Chuck Wozorinsky. Are you doing any? Oh, it's December. You're not racing up there. It's fucking snowing. Ali. Where is it? That's all I can play. It gets copyrighted. Ali no Aimi. Why do I pump gear and crank sprocket for a Gen 3 Coyote? All I can find is for Gen 2. It's the same. I sent an email to ESS with no reply. Thanks, Ale al Noemi. It's all the same shit. Mismo. Es la misma mierda. Here's my lollipop, says Beach Cowgirl. Dropping a like and a watch from the beginning of the show tomorrow. Vortech needs to seriously start doing some updating to their supercharger. That's another reason this is the problem with Vortech, right? I'll talk about Vortech a little bit. They allow their product to be undercut so bad that they put all their eggs in one basket. And that is an issue. And a lot of people, let's say for instance, Vortech goes, hey, Power by the Hour, why aren't you selling more Vortex? You're a dealer, aren't you? So then Power by the Hour goes, well, you allow this. And we have to make this much margin. So why should I push that product? Talk to me like I'm stupid. If you allow this guy and this company and these people to sell it for this much, why am I going to push the product? They can all go to them. You've put all your eggs in one. Go to them. We'll push everything else. And then Vortech's got to go, shit, you're right. Like, that's what you got to do, right? If you have a sales representative, make calls. Hey, man, what's up, man? How's everything going? Yeah, everything's good. So, like, what the fuck? How come y'all ain't selling our shit? Okay, so what's my margin on the blower kit? Oh, your margin is this much. Okay, well, if I advertise it for this much money, no one's going to buy it from me, right? So I have to, like, basically sell it for what I get it for and then hope I make money on the other stuff. The injector, the tuning, the device. And I package it in such a way that I'm like, hey, here's a kit. So that I make $0 on the kit and I make $200 on the injector, $150 on the tuner, right? But the American consumer goes cheap. So they're going to go for the one that has the cheapest price. So manufacturers need to understand that maybe their product is not being pushed as much if you put all your eggs in one basket and then the vast majority of people, we're just going to buy it from one person because it's cheaper. That's how it works. That's how it works with everything. Poor Joe Swish, at least you tried. The guns looking sweet cut. Thank you, Javon Jones. Can I have biceps like Alex? Man, fuck y'all, Joe Swish. My wife hears you in the background and thinks you're a douche, but I love you though. Rodrigo, tu mujer goes, that guy's a fucking asshole. That's what she says. But what does she think? Low racing, the snow yet, but it's 31 out. Alex, got your man sweating. ESS price beats Vortech. That is the rub. That is the rub. That's the equalizer. The world always reaches its equilibrium. And if Vortech allows people to sell a product that is so cheap in terms of price and no one else really can compete, and ESS comes in and goes, here you go. This thing performs better, it's cheaper, and it installs in about 2 less hours. How can you hate on that? The world always reaches its equilibrium. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Coyote Kelly. TVS belt change is way easier. One of the main reasons I switched from Paxson to VMP. My girl doesn't give two craps about cars, but knows more than most guys because of me. Red Dad says, good morning. Scott Andrews says, everything's going subscription-based / loyalty program. No one is making a margin on hardware product anymore, or at least that's the way it's going. It's called sense of humor. You're not an asshole. Okay, she's not wrong. ESS equals the working man's boost. And margin. That's why I think the compressed air supercharging company is not going to go anywhere in terms of mass volume. And let's be honest, the Coyote changed the game as to PaWr expectations. When you see the bigger shops that are Chevy shops or Dodge shops, Dodge is different. I'm sorry. Dodge, you can make 1,000 with like boost and fuel. So that's the anomaly. The problem is it's in a big fucking boat. That's it. But the Dodge motor, you can make 1,000 on the stock shit, boost and fuel. Maybe a cam, who knows? But I've seen guys through stock. DBR, I think Tennessee. Everything's in Tennessee. DBR. High Performance. Where are they located? Give them a little shout. Contact us. And again, they're not paying me. Nobody pays me. If I like you, I'll promote your shit. Beechcroft Road. What the fuck is this? Where are you? 601 Beechcroft Road. Where? Fuck me. What state is this? It looks shitty. There's no water. 601 Beechcroft. Yep, Tennessee. How did I know? Okay. Where are you? That's a good sized building, guys. Good for you. You got street view? Can we dump it on this fucking thing? Can we dump this fucking guy up here? Can we dump this fucker up here? Yeah, we can dump this fucker up here. Let's go. Drop him down. There you go. Look at that. Boom. DBR High Performance. Look at that. Hey, shout out. We build. Wow, you guys have a warehouse. Good for you. Fuck me. There must be nothing going on in Tennessee. There ain't shit going on in that motherfucker. Bro, Nothing. Much okay, there's something over here. What's Spring Hill? I mean, okay, let me see food. Let me see restaurants. Let me see. Okay, Sonic, McDonald's, Chili's, Cracker Barrel. Oh yeah, this is very white. Waffle House, Taco Bell, Burger King, Bojangles, Ropa Villa. What do we got over here? Grecian Family Restaurant, First Watch. Okay, that's a good breakfast joint. Subway, boy, there ain't shit. Where's the water? Where's the water? Bro, where's the water? Where's the... Here you go. Here's your fucking water. Silty River. Anyway, see, I get off a tangent. So, DBR, I see them all the time post up a Hellcat. Made 900 on E85. They pinned the crank, put it overdrive, and I'm like, what? That's the only motor that I go, eh. So the Coyote has kind of changed the game because even on a Gen 1, as long as the rods don't exit the chat, you can make good power. Gen 2, you can make good power. Again, I tell everyone 850 and above, you can expect shenanigans, but can you make big power? Absolutely. So if you build it, rods, pistons, sleeve, good timing system, built to good cams. Look, the King Daddy combo is a Gen 3 or a Predator bottom end, sleeve to a 5.0, Predator cams or GT350 cams and a GT350 head. And as long as you can have the right cam combo that makes the phasers happy and the tuner happy, that's the King Daddy combo. As long as you have good oil pump gears, good clamping power, good clamping force, all, and keeping the gaskets good, that motor is going to live a long life and make big power. So that's where people get spoiled on the Coyote stuff. And then, you know, the Chevy guys, when they start talking about ported ass, anal this, and I'm like, it's only a 900 horsepower car, 406 cubic inch. So that means the motor got taken apart, reworked, and it's making 900, 1,000. The Coyote kind of fucked everybody up. The Coyote fucked everyone up in terms of power expectation. Boston Cream Pie Red. Stop. Who cares? 100% ship part of Tennessee. Wesley Stewart, you're talking about the RevMatch module thingy. They're working with someone. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is the G2 worth it? No. G3, G3X. She said manifest. I think she just cursed me. Manifest? Who said manifest? Who the fuck said manifest? That's one of those words we don't talk about. Joe, a lucky girl one day will come to your way. I'm manifesting it for you. Yeah, don't say that. Manifesting doesn't work. That doesn't exist. It's called wishing. Que Q to Deliverance Banjo. That's the only issue I have with Mopar is the weight, and I have no luck with them. In South Florida, that's $10 million worth of land. Right. When I saw that building, I'm like, what? Bro. I mean, if you go to Zillow, I'm sorry, what's the other one? Red something. Fuck. What's the industrial proper LoopNet. LoopNet. You want to see you want to see what I'm talking about? You guys think I'm full of shit? LoopNet. LoopNet. Okay, let's go to LoopNet, and that tells you like industrial buildings for sale in Florida. Industrial enter location. Let's go to 33418, which is like Palm Beach Gardens and Riviera. For lease. Now let's go for sale. Property types, industrial. Price, let's start at $200,000, which nothing will come up, and then we'll go to $5 million. Fuck, let me remove the boundary. Okay, let's look at a building that sort of mimics what DBR had going on. Let me see. Okay, this one? This is like a quarter of the size. There we go. It's a quarter of the size. $2 million. it's $2 million. Let's go here. This is a storage unit, storage place. Boy, that's it. Let's bring it out more. Okay, here we go. Let's bring it out a little further. Let's go to Lake Worth. It's still Palm Beach County. Okay, there we go. Hey, this is one unit. One unit, not the building. One unit is $430,000. I'm looking for a building that looks like DBR's building, but you won't find it here. Here we go. What's this? Okay, good. $2,545,000. There you go. And this looks run down. Oh my God. It is literally a sliver of a building. And it is $2 million. Go ahead. Tell me about South Florida and how, we ain't shit and how Alex lives in a 1-1. Fuck you. You don't know shit. Armiette says, just had a cylinder 8 DI get stuck wide open on my 19, and I knew instantly when I saw bank 2 short-term fuel trims maxing out, trying to pull 40% fuel on the Ngauge. Limped it home, replaced it, runs perfect again. That's what you guys need to get good at. I highly implore you guys, Army Ed said, I just had a cylinder 8 DI get stuck wide open on my 19, and I knew instantly when I saw bank 2 short-term fuel trims -40, meaning the computer is constantly correcting. Think about as fuel trims. The computer is constantly correcting. So if it is -40% on fuel, that means it is rich, that condition. So it goes, let's correct it. So look at the items that are happening on your vehicle, especially when it comes to fuel trims, as corrections. Again, think of it as a wing on an airplane, and it is trimming to stay level. So if the airplane has a weird mechanical condition that tilts the wings this way and the trim is all the way maxed out, you have a mechanical issue. That's how it is. Geez, that's $500,000 in my area. $200,000 is a crack house down here. Redfin, RedTube, nope. I got pied by the EPA, and it was so good. Puro pinche 956 a la verga cut, says Andrew Newton. G3X, is anyone else DI extremely loud on their Gen 3V? Okay, don't know what that means. Army says, I knew the side, checked each spark plug, found the wet one, replaced the DI, and done. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Shit, you better head to Belle Glade for $200,000. Nardi Mercado. Belle Glade is just as expensive. You want to see Belle Glade? I'll show you Belle Glade. Belle Glade. Belle Glade, Florida. Oh, there's one place. It's $360,000. Look at this place. What the hell? Belle Glade is Belle Glade, bro. It is nothing but sugarcane fields out here. U.S. Sugar owns everything out here. So, Belle Glade. What is this? Oh, look at that. A skeleton of a house for $360,000. Is this a car wash? Bro, this is a car wash. A gutted car wash. Have you ever been to Belle Glade? Dude, Belle Glade is so sad. It's so sad. Like, it's the saddest. When you're on a dating site and she lives anywhere west of Royal Palm Beach, you know it's fucked up out here. It's like, nah, I ain't going out there. We're good. We're good. The probability of her having un poquito de la sida, we're good. Pahokee, that's why the Ngauge is the best. I'm telling you guys, so I got word of a device. I'm not going to give too much away, but I saw a device that with a little bit of tweaking, LRX is great. But it's always good to have options. But I saw a device, the skeletons of a device over the weekend that made me go, that would be something the customer would like. That would be something the customer would love. Price point, price point, price point. It's got to be within $400 or low $500, because that seems to be the threshold that people start to trip the fuck out about price. Oh, it's $500. I'm like, bro, like that's just how it is. Like, it's $500. I mean, sorry, but I saw this device. The user interface is a little slow. Can be tweaked. The data is very fast. It's very bright, and I thought, I think it's always good to have competition, because what happens when there is no competition? Look at what happened to the 24 Mustang. It has no competition. What it has for competition is this piece of shit car that nobody likes. Throttle House talked about this car, and they basically said it's the biggest piece of shit they've ever driven. Basically, without saying too much, they said this thing is just slow, broken, and not really viable. It's longer than the previous generation. Hellcat. At the end of the day, I'd rather just have a Hellcat. I'd rather just have a Hellcat at the end of the day than this thing.
Yeah, but a lot of that is because they did this bit here. They made it like a hatch, right? So there's actually quite a lot of storage space if you fold the seats down, which was quite clever. I think that was good.
It looks more awkward with the 4-door, which is the same exact interior dimension.
Now, when
supposed to be hark back to sort of the late 60s ones.
That right there is not a bad looking car. Like okay, at face value, forget. Imagine it wasn't a Hellcat. Imagine it wasn't a successor to the Hellcat. Imagine it was just a car you saw on the road. Not bad, right? Not bad. But the problem is this: its predecessor was so badass, and we'll always miss it because it made good power. It was easy to tune, easy to make power, and it became a cultural icon. So a lot of people need to understand that. Don't compare this to that. But on its own, it failed to deliver because apparently, according to them, it's not fast. It's got weird tuning. It's big and lumbering. It does burnouts, which it shouldn't do because it's an electric car that's all-wheel drive. Why is it burning out?
Which makes me wonder. Well, let's pull over and we'll talk about it. All right, here's what I think has happened here. I think that Dodge has just made the new Charger/Challenger with the Hurricane 6 in it. And then for compliance, they've EV-ified it.
That is what you guys need to understand. That sentence right there is the future of automobile manufacturing. They are going to make things to keep the government happy, and then the Hurricane and gas variants are going to be the rare ones. Here you go. Here's a certain percentage of the vehicles we make are EV. And I think that is the nameplate weirdness with Mustang. Call me crazy. Let's talk about that real quick. God damn it. By the end of the show, my head hurts and I can't do it no more. It sucks. I really like these, but man, it squeezes too much. It hurts. I can't imagine doing it for 3 hours. Crazy. So, let's say Ford did something very clever and they said, in order to be compliant and not make an EV version of an S550, S650 Mustang, we will make this stupid SUV a Mustang so that in the books, it shows that we have built an EV Mustang, but not the sports car version. It could be a play on words. Like, hey, 20% of Mustangs are EV. That's what the government mandated. But it's a fucking ugly, stupid, grandma, shit-ass, dumb, stupid piece of shit SUV that doesn't compete with the Model Y. But it allowed them to still make the Mustang. Now, let's say Dodge didn't do that. Let's say Dodge didn't have a Hellcat if you wanted to be an asshole, Dodge, you could have made a Charger, an SUV, EV shit, and kept the supercharged sports car that we all love. I think Ford did actually something, when you think about it, pretty clever. In order to keep the Mustang going, if some of the literature in the mandates stated that, hey man, 20% of your Mustangs need to be EV, Ford's going, I'm not going to put a fucking electric motor in a sports car. I'm going to make a whole new platform. We don't really care about selling it. It's a compliance thing. Chevy Volt. Again, guys, let's talk about compliance vehicles. The Chevy Volt. The first generation. First generation. The first generation Chevy Volt right now can be found for $5,000 to $10,000. This was a compliance vehicle. This was something that was a knee-jerk reaction to Al Gore and the fact that the United States, aka the us, bailed out Chevy. They made a Chevy Volt. And this was all over the place. It was a piece of shit. But it was like a compliance vehicle. So again, I'm speculating here, but imagine Ford played 5D chess with everybody and said, you know what? You got it, EPA. We will go ahead and make 20% of the Ford Mustang EV. And they make a completely different vehicle, call it a Mustang, and are still able to build the sports car that you know and love. Maybe that 5D chess played in their favor. Who knows? That would be funny. Deal. If people want to tune the dual throttle body Coyote found in the S650 OBR control systems, is the only way to tune it as of right now. Okay. Deal. If people want to tune the dual throttle Coyote found in the S650 OBR control systems, is the only way to tune it as of right now. Don't know what you're saying. Late to the show, Roman Tijerina. I believe it's over 5,000 pounds. I heard they got an asshole of a new Hellcat motor being built. I heard they got an asshole of new. The side profile on it's awful. Front is fine, but it should have been a wide body standard. Pookie still trying to jack you for it. It looks similar to the 99 Charger. Saw someone trying to sell one for $130,000. The throttle response took forever. DJ Luck says, I'm surprised Snap-on has gotten into tuning devices unless they're already, no, they'll go out of business. Rodrigo, unrelated, but any chance you test a Plaid? I don't know anyone with a Plaid. I know you're impulsive, but I would love your opinion on it. In a few months, thinking about Gen 1 for fun or an S Plaid. I have a 3 Performance now. I don't think I would buy a Plaid because it's $60,000 to $70,000, and I'm not that interested in buying that. Like my Cadillac Escalade, I'm in absolute love with. It just, like, you don't appreciate a car that just starts and does what it does until you have one. Like, I've ruined most of my vehicles by modifying them. The 13 GT runs, the GT500 runs. They all run. The only ones that don't run are the ZR1 and the Fairmont. Fairmont's long-term project, ZR1 popped a Chevy motor. So, once I get a Coyote in it, that'll run. And then, I'll have 4 out of the 5 cars running. But you don't appreciate a vehicle until it just drives. And yesterday, went to the gym, put gas in the truck, drove up to Lund Racing, hung out with them for 7 hours. Then I drove back, got home at 11:30 at night, went to sleep, and I was like, boy, I don't have to worry about it. Like, it was so wonderful. It was raining like a motherfucker on the way back. I was going 85 miles an hour cruise control. This bitch has lane assist, and I'm just like, so I don't need a Plaid in any way, shape, or form. Wait, how much did I miss? Almost forgot the live stream schedule. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Scariest sentence on earth. Very demure, very mindful, Ford. Would love to hear one of the muffler sounds replaced with the Jetsons noise. We'll see the Hellcat motor back in sooner than later. I don't think so. How? What mechanism, Mini by Badman? What mechanism do you have in order to... How does this work? Hold on. Let me see if I can... Let me see if I can use this. Sorry, I was looking at something else. I was looking to see if I can put the whole chat up there, but I can't. Damn it, that would have been cool. Wait, can I? Copy. Let me see. Live chat. Let me see. No, I can't. It's the same. It's the same one. Boo. Honestly surprised Snap-on. I already got that. It probably ain't shit to program that either. Nardi. Any response to the cease and desist that people are sending around looks fake? That's from Lund Racing. Yeah, I'm gonna let upper management handle that because it's not nothing I'm involved with. But let's give you an example. Okay, let's say I'm going to start making fun of somebody. And I make fun of somebody, and it's fun and funny. It's all good. No problem. Let's say I hate Ford a lot. Let's say, I'm on a Ford tinge. And I start creating a product called Ford, but it's F-O-A-R-D. And the F-O-A-R-D has a similar layout to the Ford logo, right? Am I making money on it? No. It's all good. It's just parody. Now, let's say I start to capitalize on it, meaning I start to make money using someone else's name and likeness, even if it's parody. That's where it gets slippery. So remember Ford sent out cease and desist letters to people that copy their GTD kit, but it had, slight variances. Again, you look at the car and you go, it's not the exact thing as a GTD. It's, a little this, little that, little. So it's the likeness. So now They tried to exactly, get out my business, McDowell's. If you make money off of someone else's successful company and likeness, but tweak a letter or two and then use some of the, let's say, characters from said company to make money, that's where it becomes a slippery slope. If you want to make fun, make fun. If you want to make money and you use someone else's name and likeness, even if it's tweaked a little bit here and there, that you got to really think about that. You got to really think about, fuck, man, you're right. I started trying to make money on it. It started off as a joke. Now I started trying to make money, and it's a problem. So that's nothing to do with me, but it is an interesting development. Again, I love watching crime shows. I love watching like court-related stuff. Imagine, so there's a thing called discovery. I don't think you want to get there. You know what I mean? Like when you want to find out everything and anything, how something came to be, there's a thing called discovery. What is discovery? Discovery, let me see if I can just name it. Court terminology. Yeah, do yourselves a favor. Type in discovery, court terminology on Google. And, that's when it gets serious. So, if someone is writing a coattail to make money using someone else's likeness, if I open a restaurant called McDowell's, if I open a company called Ford, F-O-A-R-D, with a weird logo that very closely looks to Ford, like a Ford logo. Hell, Ford sent cease and desist letters to people making body kits that closely resembled the GTD. And they were right to do so because it's something they invented. And I actually got on here and said, they're right. They made a product. They are indeed the product. They built the product to be a big, successful brand. So if somebody copies it, tweaks it a little, tries to make money based on that, guess what? There's laws against that. Donald McRonald, copyright infringement. People wouldn't be happy if someone was riding the coattails off of your success, right? It's one thing to make fun, right? I could sit here and make fun of anything and everything until I try to make money on it. And there's a company tied to it. Like my shirts are all my shit. F. Rizzi came on this program, right? F. Rizzi, we made fun of it. We invented F. Rizzi, boom. Snack Attack GT500, we invented it. We can make money off of it. YDBT, it's my thing. Amory, it's our thing. So yes, I can make money on it because I and the Amory invented it. If somebody else goes out there and starts selling my shit, I can do the same thing. That is copyrighted. That is a trademark. That is my shit. Understandable, brother, says 50 Milo. I apologize for the confusion, Dio. I meant to say OBR control systems are the only ones that can tune the dual throttle bodies on the Gen 4 Coyote. So you know what? I don't know anything about OBR, OBR control system. So unfortunately, what do you mean? Like, how do you... Okay, so in order to get into the Ford software, Cobra, you have to have access to it. How do you have access to the... Like, just now, companies are able to draw the stock Mustang tune. Stock Mustang 24 Mustang tune. And then put it back into the car, and the car flashes. Now, pull that tune out, change the spark table, put it back in, it won't flash. It's got to do this thing called checksum. It's got to do a checksum, and there's supposedly a rolling situation where it's like random, and the checksum stuff is very specific. That's the key to tuning. So I don't know what OBR does to the throttle bodies. Hope everyone had a blessed day, says Jamoke A-hole. Someone said Ford. Exactly. Imagine I call Ford, PHORD, and then I start making shirts with the logo. You guarantee fucking they're going to hit me up and be like, cut that shit out. I've been to court enough. You said Discovery, and I was like, fuck me. I don't want anything to do with that, says Roman Tijerina. See, the thing is, Discovery is a motherfucker. Get on game. Get on game before you start making jokes. Get on game as to laws. Get on games before you start trying to make money. And look up the terminology of, the court process. Discovery is a motherfucker. Glad they didn't imagine seeing janky GTD kits. It pays to be original. Which gear ratios would I take for my T56 swap on my 15 Gen 2 Coyote, Mr. Alex? Is it NA? Is it NA? What are your goals? Are you just driving? I don't know what you're doing. Engage, exactly. Howdy, tuning in. Happy Sunday, everyone, says Rudy Bacala. Mike H says, it's parody. He's covered under fair use law. Not if you make money. Mike H, not if you make money. No, it's not fair use if you make money. Mike H, let's say you have a company and it's called Mike H Enterprises. We're open 39.5 hours a week. And then someone says, Mike H Enterprises open 40 hours a week. People are going to Google Mike H Enterprises. And they're going to go, oh, this one's open 40 hours a week. And you're going to go, wait a minute, you can't call it Mike H Enterprises 40 hours a week because I'm Mike H Enterprises 39.5 hours a week. They're capitalizing on your success. It is not fair use. Integrity check, validate hars from file to file changes. Can I start a company called... Stop it. Yeah. Yes, you can. Rolling checksum anti-lag. Cobra, I'm not sure if Ford themselves asked OBR to make them tunable ECU for dual throttle body Coyote. Boosted roll racing. Come on, Alex. He's just a hardworking guy putting in 8 hours. Exactly. So we finally going to know who's behind. Dude, that has been figured out. That has been figured out. I think they're trying to run a misdirection campaign. Because if you say you're not the person, why did you admit that you were the person? Oh, I got access to shit. But if you're not the person, why did you admit you were the person? It's interesting. Discovery is why the NFL settles everything. They're not opening those books for nobody. They'll just pay. I foresee a new video. The illegal wetback don't understand U.S. I think a lot of people underestimate. They underestimate laws. Like there's certain things. I can't go and let's say make let's say this. I can't go and make a I'm trying to think of a good example. I'm trying to think, but nothing happens. What was the last thing I think? I can't make. So when the first time I left Lund Racing, right, for the first time, I made a website. And it was a 100% joking website. I actually made a product called the Driver Mod. The Driver Mod. And the Driver Mod was a $10,000 thing that, I'm sorry, it was a $3,000 thing that would cover the flight, the hotel, and me driving your car so that you can actually run a number. And then for Shelby owners, it was plus like $10,000, and why? For me having to deal with Shelby owners. I literally paid a monthly nut for a website to be a joke, and I never made a dime off of it. Not one fucking dime. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was covered. Now on YouTube, you can't go in there and take someone else's stuff For example, if I play this, done. If I play any more of that, I get a copyright strike. That's right. I get a copyright strike because they're like, whoa, you're using something we made, even though, for more than 5 seconds. And it's not covered under fair use because I would fight it, Mike Gage. I would fight it. And YouTube said, you played it for more than 3.5 seconds. And Mike H., you're not aware of anything that's happening. You're hearing it's hearsay. I know the real story, and I'm just going to say you don't want it to get to discovery. That's all I'm saying. You really should be really, really smart about things. But again, Mike H., you're hearing third party, fourth party, fifth party. Can you speak on the letter posted? No. I will replicate it on a data log and a week and send the log over. Jamoke, Alejandro, quick question on my ESS car, 110 millimeter pulley, enough to blow up my stock motor? Yes. And trans, I ordered a fuel system from DNA and it'll be installed when get the car back from the shop. Yes, 110 millimeter pulley can make over 800 horsepower on a G3X head unit. 20 degrees spark advance, I made 795 horsepower. So yeah, it's enough to blow up your car. And again, you go, what about, I thought Coyotes were safe to 800. Not safe. Let's just say if everything is on point, 850 is not a problem, 900 is not a problem. But the Ringland might have a different thought. Maybe it was a Wednesday, somebody took a break and the exoskeleton tightened down this a little too much. So I think you got to understand. Shit. Chuck, YouTube just copyright strike the guy that does electronics repairs because he put a diagram of an electronic circuit that he reverse engineered during his repair. Exactly. The moment you do something that has copyright and trademarks, you are open to litigation. Even if it's close, if it's enough that I can't go out there and make a McDowell's. I can't go out there and make a Ford with a PH. I can't do that. And make money on it. If I can go out there and just make fun for the sake of making fun. Then you get into a weird slippery slope, right? Comedy is different than making money. So I can do many things under the auspice of comedy, but you're still making money, but you're not using them to make money. It is not your brand. So I can make fun of Ford all day long as I am not using their brand to make money, you know, like directly. It is an interesting thing. You got it, Mike H. Yeah, that's all. Just kind of see where it goes. I'll let the brass handle it. Again, you think you know how I handle beef? We're outside. I don't send letters, but you know, no one's capitalizing off of my name directly. It actually stalled twice after the pull. I immediately started again, all while coasting over 100 miles an hour. Coasting over 100 miles an hour. I think we have to hack your file a little bit because if you're idling at 100 miles an hour coasting, we have to probably set your minimum idle mile per hour to like over 100. You would think that our artists, you would want to play their music, gets heard and people like it. No, some people just don't want that. Some people don't. They think I can't sit here and play someone else's complete live stream and make money off of it. But I get notifications when YouTube, again, they're full of lawyers. When YouTube says, hey, somebody used your clip for an inordinate amount of time, will you allow it? And you know what I do? I review it personally. I go, that's fine. I've never sent a copyright strike to anybody because they haven't used enough of my shit to make it a problem. TikTok. I don't think they make enough money to give a shit. So if somebody goes on TikTok, rips my shit, and puts up clips, it's my face. So they're like, oh, who is this guy? And then they search on YouTube. I go, thank you. Like, thank you very much. I assume the 10R is still just as bad long-term. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, exactly. Buy a newer F-150 or 15 to 17 low mileage Gen 2. Want to get out of this 118 before the 10R gives out. Why would you buy a newer F-150? Oh, 15 to 17. Hunter Walker, I don't know what you want to do. You got to give me very specific case use of what you want to do. A fair use is free speech related. Copyright infringement is completely different. Deal. Ford themselves asked OBR to make a tunable control pack for the 7.3 Godzilla when it was released. Oh, yeah, I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I had the same problem when I would go neutral over 100 miles an hour. I sent the ticket for it and it was told it happens due to airflow just upshift. They sent the new file. That too fixed it. Nice to see. I don't even think they could witness. I'll stop it. Nardi, during the Kendrick versus Drake beef, they let YouTubers play their stuff without copywriting. And you know why they did that, Nardi Mercado? To spread the streams. So if you get paid per stream on Spotify and you allowed the reviewers to review your video and not hit them with a copyright strike, that means everyone hyped up the words, the songs, the videos, and then everybody on Spotify played it over and over and over, and then it made the artists money. So sometimes it's beneficial to not do anything. But in this case, I think they felt, no, that's enough is enough. This isn't parody. You're making money riding our coattails. So we'll see how all that plays out. Let the upper brass handle all that stuff. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm going to have a nice, relaxed Sunday. I went to Lund Racing and raided their parts bin. So I'm going to go outside right now and make a video showing you the parts that I got for Donnie. And I have decided, Chuck Wazorinsky, you might want to be, put your ear to the ground. I'm selling all the stuff from the GT500 motor. I am done with that project. I don't trust anyone to build it. The people that I do trust to build it don't fuck with it. So I'm selling the rods, the pistons, the heads, the block, the crank, the timing chains, the cams. I am selling everything. So I'm going to make a video outlining what I got, what I'm selling it for, and I think I can cumulatively make about $10,000 or $12,000 with everything piecemeal because I'm done with that Trinity. Got fucked on it. Nobody wants to build it that I trust. So I'm going to take this radioactive situation and part it out. And I'll send you guys a video to that. And anyone that is interested, hit me up and I'll get your pricing and I'll get shipping and quotes and all that stuff. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for Talking Shit Tuesday. See you guys later. Bye.